And Emily, despite a rough start to the year for former U.S. President Donald Trump, he's had a few victories this week, and they include a Supreme Court ruling Monday that former presidents have broad immunity from prosecution, and a ruling on Tuesday by the judge in Trump's New York criminal hush money trial to delay his sentencing, which had been scheduled for next week. The Supreme Court, in a 6-3 decision along ideological lines, ruled that Donald Trump may claim immunity from criminal prosecution for some of the actions he took as president before leaving office. The decision was made after legal arguments were presented back in April, giving the justices time to question Trump's attorney.
What was up with the pardon for President Nixon?
I think that
if everybody thought that presidents couldn't be prosecuted, then what was that about?
Well, he was under investigation for both private and public conduct at the time, official acts and private conduct. I think everyone has properly understood that the president, since like President Grant's carriage riding incident, everyone has understood that the president could be prosecuted.
No man's above the law, and that the president can be prosecuted after he leaves office for his private conduct. Is that right?
We agree with that.
But the landmark Supreme Court ruling is throwing a wrench into multiple Trump criminal cases.
This is a scam. There's a rigged trial.
The first fallout from Monday's decision on presidential immunity, Trump's sentencing in the Manhattan hush money case now delayed until September.
This is bigger than Trump. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than my presidency.
The Trump team plans to use the Supreme Court's historic decision granting Trump some immunity from criminal prosecution to attack his recent conviction in New York on 34 counts related to hush money payments to a porn star ahead of the 2016 election.
The only voice that matters is the voice of the jury, and the jury has spoken.
Both sides are now asking to brief the court on how they think the Supreme Court's ruling impacts the New York case. Trump's legal team believes the decision bars evidence related to Trump's official actions.
We believe that that corrupts that trial, that indicates that that jury verdict needs to be overturned, and at the very least, we deserve a new trial where those immune acts will not come into evidence.
The opinion likely to reverberate in Trump's other criminal cases, too. Trump's team is confident it will help them gut the federal January 6th case.
We call it a sham indictment.
The High Court outlined parameters for presidential immunity and then told the trial court judge to decide how that applies to the Trump case, making a trial before the election nearly impossible.
We did nothing wrong at all, and we have every right, every single right, to challenge an election that we think is dishonest.
The decision may also have implications in Georgia. That case is currently paused to determine if the DA, Fani Willis, should be disqualified. But if it resumes, the judge would have to go through this same analysis to determine which of Trump's acts were official and therefore immune, like this call to pressure Georgia state election officials.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
The Trump team is also expected to try to undercut the Mar-a-Lago documents case.
I had every right to have these documents.
A source told CNN they plan to argue that how classified material ended up at the Florida resort stemmed from official presidential acts.
Whatever documents a president decides to take with him, he has the right to do so. It's an absolute right.
Now, according to the Washington Post today, the U.S. Department of Justice will seek to prosecute former President Trump even if he wins the election. DOJ officials said it's because a long-standing policy against criminally charging a sitting president does not apply to a president-elect. That means even if Trump were to win the election in November, he could still stand trial before Inauguration Day in January.